Hello and welcome everyone. This is Humans of Pharma platform by Pharma State Academy, which is focusing on different pharma stories based on pharma career, one's pharma journey, current affairs, and book discussions. Today, I am going to take you along for another inspirational pharma journey, Direct Dil Se, where we will be having heart-to-heart discussion with a pharma leader. So, pharma professionals, students, and everyone hearing me out, it is my honor to introduce our distinguished guest, Dr. Sanjit Singh Lamba, Managing Director at Trillyum Consulting and Advisory. Dr. Lamba is a highly accomplished and experienced professional with 33 years of experience in the pharma industry and a proven track record in achieving business growth objectives. Sir's contribution to the industry has been unparalleled. His leadership and vision have helped organizations led teams toward the achievements of organization goals and industry backed practices. Throughout his illustrious career, he has made significant contribution in streamlining technical business processes and expanding business in advanced markets like US and Japan. His remarkable achievements have earned him numerous accolades, including being awarded thrice in the list of 100 of the most inspiring people in the life science industry by Pharma Voice USA and winner of Red Jacket Award. People describe him as pragmatic, motivating, knowledgeable, and emphasize his ability to connect with everyone around him, motivate and energize them to do their best work. He inspires people he works with to be innovative and provides them with confidence and inspiration to achieve more and more and more. He understands how to guide individuals rather than push them. We are fortunate to have him with us today and we look forward to learning from his insights and expertise. I heartily welcome Dr. Sanjit Singh Lamba on behalf of Pharma State Academy team and Humans of Pharma platform. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here today.
Thank you, Shazia. It's a pleasure to join here today.
Thank you so much, sir. So let's learn about you through a series of questions, starting with the first one. Who or what has fueled your creative fire and served as guiding light throughout your illustrious career?
Thank you, Shazia. And I think this is a very important, I would say, milestone of my career today to discuss all these last 33, 34 years. Thank you for inviting me here. And then I think the most important time which happens in the lives of many people and with a guiding light mostly is the parents. And I think in my case too, I was really inspired by mother and father to really look at what's my career like. So they had left everything to me to decide about my career. But one of the things which I remember very, very closely is my father had mentioned that I was born and brought up in Chandigarh. And I did my post-graduation in pharmaceutical technology from Punjab University, Chandigarh. And in Chandigarh itself, there was a company which was, that time, the largest pharmaceutical company in the world, that's Pfizer. So it was my father's dream and he mentioned to me over a breakfast table one day, is it possible for you to really get associated with Pfizer anytime? I said, I don't know anything about it, but I've heard that's the largest pharmaceutical company in the world, but I'll definitely give it a try. So during my post-graduation, doing one of those research days, I just sent a letter, a very detailed letter to Pfizer in Mumbai, talking about my background and also what I'm interested in. And I think patient focus was something I remember had written in that letter, that I want to do something for the patients. I think exactly 1 year after I wrote that letter, I got my first interview letter to appear for the interview at Pfizer headquarters in Mumbai. And that was really, I would say, the time when I was really looking that probably it's going to be the start of a great journey. And of course, that interview lasted for about 6 months. Every month I used to appear for an interview. And I always give that example that these days you don't see that kind of interviews where out of about 200 people, finally 2 people had to be selected, and I was fortunate to get selected in that Pfizer interview. And and that was my second organization. By the time I already had worked with MSD at Bombay. And throughout my career, my mother and father remained as my guiding light to do something good for the people. And this was one of the reasons, one of the areas where I could contribute.
Great, sir. Parents are really a strong source of inspiration in everyone's life.
Yes.
Moving on, in addition to your professional journey, we would love to know more about you on the personal level. What are some of your hobbies, interests, or passions outside of the pharma world?
This is very interesting. Actually, when I finished my master's in pharma, I'm from Chandigarh, I was inspired by a great singer, Jagjit Singh, the late Jagjit Singh. And during the time in Chandigarh, I had opportunity to participate in one of the live programs of Jagjit. During that time, I was so inspired that I thought I'll start my career learning music from Jagjit. And I went to Mumbai. It was 1990, beginning of 1990. And fortunately, that time was time there was a great program happening in Bombay, which was like a group, a very interesting group at Cooperage Ground in Bombay, and which the program started in the evening and it ended in the morning. During that time, I was introduced to Jagjit Ji by none other than the Gulzar Sahib. And I approached Gulzar Sahib through somebody who was known. And so I requested him, is it possible for you to introduce me to Jagjit Sahib? So he said, why not? So that is the time when this Mirza Ghalib serial on the TV was being composed. And both Gulzar Sahib and Jagjit Ji, they were spending a lot of time in composing this serial. So during this time, I was introduced and I decided during that time that I would be a part of this journey of music and singing, including the ghazal singing, rather than being in the pharmaceutical industry. And finally, I made up my mind that I would join him. Over a period of couple of months of requesting again and again, finally Jagjit Ji accepted me as a disciple. And I started visiting their place. And initially, few months, it was just like, he said, just sit down and you just see what's happening, because you first imbibe these, vibes and look at how you can contribute to the music. Without any kind of a training earlier, he said, yeah, it'd be difficult for you, but still it is not a rocket science. You can learn it. You can learn them. You can sing well, I know, but really understanding the music is difficult, but it will take time. Are you ready for it? I said, I'm ready. So finally, this journey started with the music. But unfortunately, during this time, there was an accident in the family. His son died, Vivek, in an accident, and the whole family was in a mess. And that's the time when I was waiting and waiting for good things to happen. Finally, Gulzar Sahib one day advised me, saying that you have come to this great city of opportunities, Mumbai. So I would suggest you to continue your career in the pharmaceutical industry, for which you are trained. Being in the music industry is a great luck. And are you ready for luck to take over your capability? I said, no. I would first prefer to have my capability and then luck. Then he said, think about it again. I would suggest you to keep singing as a hobby and keep pursuing your career for which you have been qualified and you have been trained. So that's how in 1990, I decided that I would continue this passion of me singing as a hobby and continue with the pharmaceutical industry journey. That's how this started. So singing is one of my passions, and right from the childhood, without any training, I started singing, I think, at the age of 3.5. So probably I think I got this trait from my mother. She used to sing sometime, and then probably that's one area where I think all these years, there are some areas where I've been very passionate about. Music, I said, is one. The another area is I was very fond of even, I started my career in 1990, 89, 90. Even that time I was fond of very electronic gadgets. And I was good at shopping. So probably these are some of the things which even I carry that even today. So most of these years, singing has helped me a lot in de-stressing myself when I went through a number of difficult situations in life, both in professional as well as personal. But singing helped me a lot in relaxing, and it also helped me in making good friends in a new city in Bombay. And there were instances when there were very, very influential people in Mumbai. And while I was singing in a hotel one day in 1991, one of the very famous lawyers came to me saying that probably you should have been in the singing and music industry rather than being in this boredom of science. And he told me, anytime you face any problems here in Mumbai, you are free. This is my card, and you are free to come, and my doors will always be open for you. So like this, I came across people, and I made many good friends. And of course, I'm very emotional, passionate, engaging kind of a person. So it really helped me during those years, and I even continue that even today.
Can we have a glimpse of that? Because it's such a nice story. And now, can we have a glimpse?
Okay, so it's very old time, probably in the school. There was a time when we used to have our classes, and 10 minutes before the class used to be over, one of the teachers would close the books and the notebooks and says, have a pin drop silence. And first of all, I didn't know what he's talking about. Then suddenly he said, Sanjit, why don't you sing something? And then this became a kind of a ritual. Every week on a Friday, it used to become a ritual in that class that 10 minutes before the class used to be over, Professor Divan would close everything and say pin drop silence. And then he would ask me to sing. And I'm reminded of a very old song of Rafi Saab. So I'll just hum a little bit. चौदहवीं का चांद हो या आफताब हो, जो भी हो तुम खुदा की कसम लाजवाब हो। चौदहवीं का चांद हो आफताब हो, जो भी हो तुम खुदा की कसम लाजवाब हो। चौदहवीं का चांद हो। Thank you.
This is so pretty. That's so gorgeous. I cannot say you made the day, and surely whoever listening to this, you made their day too. This is really very nice.
You can go to the Facebook and YouTube as well as Smule, where I have approximately, I think, 50 recordings.
Okay, that's very nice. I will definitely go, and I think the viewers will be going there too after this.
Thank you.
Moving along, next question is, innovation is a cornerstone of pharma industry. Can you highlight some key innovations or transformations that have stood out to you during your pharma journey?
I think, my career has been, I think, one of those rare careers where most of the time I was in the technology. I was handling manufacturing, operations, quality, and things like that. So after spending approximately, I would say 20 years in the manufacturing operations as well as research and quality, I was fortunate that I moved on to the areas of sales, marketing, patient focus, patient centricity, and things like that. So I had experience on both the sides of the business. And I think from my initial years, technology point of view, I think I have seen a major transformation happening in the industry. Today, where we are, it's highly automated one, and I was one of those lucky ones who got exposure both in manufacturing in few areas where I could contribute as one of the first to contribute in that area. For example, in the area of injectables, I implemented, though this application was available in US and Europe, but I was responsible for implementing on a very large scale, fully automated injectable manufacturing operation in one of the companies during my initial years, and a very large scale kind of a manufacturing, which was very different from a manual kind of a manufacturing, which was prevalent in 90s. But in the beginning, I was able to implement that. Later part of my experience, I could implement areas like robotics in manufacturing, and also a very lean kind of a manufacturing setup where we were replacing humans with technology, and so made risk-free kind of a manufacturing to make sure that the patient gets the best quality of a product. And that was my focus on high on quality right in the beginning. Probably I was trained and mentored by my seniors in the beginning like that. So I started looking more from technology point of view, from automation point of view, areas like manufacturing. I was responsible for creation, probably in my company. I first learned the computer system. This I'm talking about is 1990, when the first XTs came. And it was just the beginning of computers. I not only learned computers, but I was responsible for training to my bosses, both hardware as well as the software. That is the beauty of a place like Mumbai. I came across friends who taught me the hardware, to how to assemble a computer and how to make my first presentation. Those days, MS Office was not existing. So there used to be only IBM software called Storyboard, and I used to make presentation on Storyboard. So automating the whole manufacturing process was one of the objectives. So I did it using some other areas, taking help of my friends who were into the IT industry to automate some of the processes in the pharmaceutical industry. Later on, replacing humans with the robotics, both in API manufacturing as well as in the formulations, was one of my objectives, which I could do somewhere during 2000, early 2000. And we combined at that time, first in 20 years back, artificial intelligence, which was just not even beginning in some areas, but one of the very senior persons in the US, coming from Boston, helped me to understand the artificial intelligence, which was in the process of being popular in the industry over the next few years. But some of the things which he taught me was the basic principles of artificial intelligence, which we could implement into some areas. How do we make sure that the product is defect-free? A process which is known as mistake proofing. Use of electronics helped me to make a process which is mistake proof. Even if somebody wants to make a mistake, he or she should not be able to make a mistake, because the detection system, which is automated, helps a person to hold on and stop the process instead of wasting the process or making the drug which is inferior in quality. So these are the areas which help me. And over the years, I have seen, for example, electronic notebooks in the research and development, electronic health records during the last 20 years. I'm talking about 2005 and 6, when electronic health records were just the beginning. Areas like automating the supply chains through blockchain technology. A lot of things, a lot of innovative areas I have participated, and some of the things which I could do. One of the very interesting areas was how to make an injection which is powder filled, free of some defects. So I used an X-ray diffraction technology in the year 2003, which is 20 years back. That was the time when it was the first X-ray inspection of pharmaceuticals. And I went to the US FDA to share my new innovation in bringing out a defect-free kind of injectable product. This was appreciated by US FDA, not only the appreciation, but they also wanted me to be on the board of inspection group in the US, which I became a virtual member on the inspection group. Then over the last few years, in exactly 2012, I think, I became president of Parental Drug Association in India. But I would say the objectives, the passion was the same, to how do we make a defect-free, high-quality product for the benefit of patients. So that kept me moving, and I would say that kept my fire alive during my years in the industry. So these are the few areas where I would to contribute. And I think the last gift which I received from the industry was in 2012, where the facility in India received a Facility of the Year award globally out of approximately 30 countries and 46 applications across the world. Until today, I think that facility is the only facility in India which received the Facility of the Year award globally. And that became an important milestone. For me, that was my dream. If an Indian industry, of an Indian setup or Indian site can reach that status of a global Facility of the Year award. So a lot of new things, a lot of innovations we brought in technology there, and combined with the human skill. And I think that was the best gift which I have received as a leader in the industry.
Great and inspiring one. Just like this, also, envisioning the future of life sciences. What breathtaking possibilities do you see on the horizon that could revolutionize the way we approach healthcare nowadays?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. A lot of areas we are working on, and I think the human race has witnessed a lot during the earlier times to what we are today. And from a classical chemical-based manufacturing or a chemical-based product as a molecule to a biological, in the last few years, we have seen a transformational change in the way the drug discovery has led to new molecules, more target-based products, and I think more biologicals is something which we would see more and more in future. The typical classical pharmaceutical products which are meant for general, simple ailments, that will continue. But there are many ailments which are difficult to treat, including cancers. So we would see more of gene therapy. We would see more of a biologicals, large molecules. This journey is already on, but I would see that more of a gene editing will happen in future, and more of a personalized medicine, which would be given to the patients. Today, this therapy is available in some areas, but it is not affordable. But I think the industry and the researchers are working to make this more accessible, more affordable in future. We would see more AI-based drug discovery in future. It has already started in some parts of the world, and not only the drug discovery, but areas like clinical trials, the clinical process overall would be transformed to a different level using artificial intelligence and machine learning. This whole process, which is of clinical trials, which is governed by the protocol, governed by the overall process of getting the data from the patients, we will see more variables, we will see more automatic capture of a data available through the devices which people are wearing, or they are collecting the data through a virtual devices, even in remote areas, even if the patients are not available in big hospitals. Then, of course, patients who are not able to go to the hospitals from the rural areas to the urban centers, more satellite centers we would see in future, and more medicine which will be prescribed to the patients in these rural areas through a telemedicine process. It is already happening in some parts of India also, but I would see that this would become more and more popular in future. Apart from this, there would be a large change in the way the technology is helping people for bringing a product to the market, right from drug discovery to clinical to manufacturing and through pharmacovigilance. A lot of automation and a lot of devices would become a part of the general life, where people can contribute to the collection of a data on a regular basis. And not only they are helping creation of a data, they'll get that benefit of this data analytics to be more proactive kind of a disease governance rather than just a case-to-case basis of a disease treatment. I see more and more happening in future. And of course, gene editing, which is becoming popular now, would make a strong foundation for treating those rare diseases which are difficult to treat with the present molecules.
Indeed, breathtaking, and more than that, visionary. So let's turn our attention to the another question. Your leadership style is widely respected and admired. As a leader, how do you inspire those around you to push beyond their limits and unleash their true potential, creating a ripple effect of excellence?
So I would say I don't do things, different things. I do the same things little differently than what other leaders do. Few of the basic things which help me pursue my leadership in the industry is a very open door policy culture of helping, motivating and inspiring people, even if they have very small ideas, to bring those ideas to the table and do a brainstorming about what can we do about these ideas, because idea generation is the most important part of a change. So if we want to do a continuous improvement in whatever we do, we need to do things differently. Otherwise, we'll not get the different kind of results. We'll get the similar kind of results. So I think most of the time I've been able to help people achieve their career goals. I generally do not push people, but I create a pull. And most of the people say that I am doing in a particular area. I never got an opportunity to work in this area. So I said, why not? We will give you an opportunity in some other area and see how the skills can really help you as well as the organization. And my experiments of approximately 5 or 6 such careers brought a remarkable change in the benefits to the company as well as to their own careers. People who never thought they will be able to switch their careers, they did it very smoothly. And I always believe in the industry, everything can be learned. We are not doing anything which is a rocket science. So people must get opportunities. People must get whatever they are looking for, whatever they are dreaming for. I just help people to execute what they were dreaming. And I think that was something which people enjoyed working with me because I become a facilitator and I help them to execute what they have been thinking and what I am thinking as a leader, how we can bring a win-win kind of a situation. I think with a mutual trust, I generally believe and trust people. Of course, there are times when people deceive you also. So, but I always believe that the results of not trusting people and then on the other hand, comparing when you start trusting people and even still take the cost of deception sometimes, but still I go in favor of trusting people. If somebody deceives, that's their good luck or bad luck. But I generally believe that this trust in people is very important to unleash their potential, to bring something out, because many people do not share. So they have to be counseled. They have to be, brought to a situation where they are comfortable enough to open themselves and share. And I believe that all those remarkable outputs and remarkable innovations which I could see in my career is the result of somebody getting inspired and then working in that area. I was driving and somebody was really executing that, and that brought out a big change. People thought that they would never be able to do that, but then I had a very strong belief that with the strong focus, they would be able to do something which they always dreamt of doing it. So people from a very different area of their career were given opportunities to handle a very large number of team members, to lead these teams, not only in one area, but they were given multiple opportunities, whatever they can digest. So my principle is to keep the system as lean as possible and make people do whatever best they can do and deliver, and enjoy working in a setup rather than being pushed to deliver for something. So these are very simple things I believe in, and I become more of a mentor rather than a coach, because I think creating a relationship with somebody as a team member is more important than just remaining on a professional network. So once you develop a trust, once you develop that relationship, people have trust in you and you have trust in them. I think anything is possible. Nothing is impossible to achieve. So I would say these are the simple governing things which allowed me to work well with the people around.
Phenomenal. And you just depicts the fine qualities of a true leader, actually. Shifting gears to the importance of mentorship, like you have said that you're a mentor. How do you personally view its significance in shaping the leaders of tomorrow? And what steps do you take to cultivate and develop the next generation of trailblazers?
Yeah, I think mentorship is something which is more personal, which is more as I said, relationship based and a trust based. And in a kind of a mentorship, you are able to, the person who's getting mentored is able to share and open up to that level that a mentor can really help him or her work on those difficult areas people think they are not able to achieve. So mentorship helps people and the organizations in a win-win kind of a situation over a very long term. The mentorship has very long-lasting benefits, and I always believe people who are being mentored by great leaders, they remain glued to the organization for a longer period rather than just a transactional based kind of a leadership, which is situational. Today, somebody is needed in the company, then that coaching is important for the organization, may not be for that person. But in a mentorship, what happens is this is a two-way process. A mentor also learns a lot in a mentorship. So I always believe that every person who becomes a professional brings something on the table, and there is something to learn from everyone. And if we can really accumulate this knowledge of people and share this with the industry and share it with the key persons who are being mentored, it can bring a very large change in the lives of people, not only at a professional level, but also at a personal level. I have seen that a mentorship can open the people's minds, and also they, whenever they have a resistance to any kind of a change, or they want to learn something new or different, or they want to move away from a baseline to a very large role in the career, mentorship helps people to create those wings that people can fly. So mentorship is an engine which helps people fly. And I believe that a continuous program of mentorship should be there in every kind of industry so that we create future leaders. And these leaders then become trailblazers for the industry to bring not only the innovation but bring out some major change for the benefit of others. So I think mentorship is only valuable when it brings a change in the lives of people and not only just technology. So at present, I'm in the process of mentoring some people, sometimes face-to-face, most of the time virtually, on a regular basis. So that is the time I've seen that people open themselves as if they are there in the church, and then they are opening themselves. I committed these mistakes, I did so and so, I should have done things differently. And I think it is a responsibility of the mentor. How do you maneuver that person's knowledge, skills, behavior, and mental abilities to transform them into a track which brings a change in the lives of the people? So it is very, very valuable process. And I think more and more should be done in this area.
Amazing, sir. Amazing. With all that in mind, if you could turn back time and offer a nugget of wisdom to your younger self or aspiring professionals, what advice would you share or wish you had received when embarking your career journey?
To tell you the fact, in fact, what I could dream, I could achieve. So I always believe this thing that whenever you want to do something, dream big. And in my first interview, when somebody asked me, the head of HR and the head of operations, what do you want to be? And I very humbly said that though you may not like it, but then it's absolutely a wish in my mind that I want to sit in your chair maybe after 10 years, but I would also want to sit on a chair of a head of an organization like a CEO or a managing director. And they said, how long that should be? I said, in my career, I think in 20 years, I should see the seat of a managing director. So I really don't know whether these things, people say that what you wish for, what you think, and what you ask for, generally you get. And I always believe that you should think big, you should dream big. And another thing which I believe is that there are many negativities around in life. There are people who are negative, there are situations, there is politics, but what helped me to reach where I am is I had to close my ears, completely block myself for all these negativities. Even people were saying, you cannot do this and this cannot be achieved or that cannot be achieved. I just blocked myself completely, isolated myself from such people and said, I don't want to listen to you, because even if you say this and if you challenge me, I think I'll do more. So please don't challenge me. Don't say that you can't do it. Once you say you can't do it, I will do it. So I believe that you should remain open to those challenges in life. And initial few years, at least a decade of your career, when you're starting a career, you should be able to do different things and not stick to one particular trait or career area where you're working. You should keep yourself flexible to adapt yourself. I realized this little late, but I think in the mid of my career, I realized I should move on to the other side, which is a patient side of my career, which is more sales, marketing, and more of medical, clinical area. And that is where it was my wish, but it was fulfilled in an organization. And I could spend around a decade of my career, which was patient facing and doctor facing. So apart from being a more of a manufacturing or a quality or a research based person, it also helped me to look at the other side of the business. So whatever you want to dream, you can achieve it. That's what I believe. And keep yourself flexible, keep away from negativities, make your life, make yourself focused. And I always believe that don't get only trained, get educated. Because the training, you give it to your dog to do whatever you want to do. But for your kids, for example, you need training. No, you need more of education. You need them to learn different things, not only what to do, but how to do, why to do that. So that's more important than just sticking around to a training program. So I believe that we should continue doing more continuous education and continuous improvement in your skill as well as your horizon of career, because this will only bring you different places. And keep yourself adaptable to situations. I never said no when I had an opportunity striking on my door. I said, I would like to go for it. I would not think much about it. I would maybe make an opinion within 10-15 minutes if I have to switch myself in a career or adapt myself to a different kind of a career. So probably I think the decision making helped me in moving on to different places, meeting different people, learning from them, and keep yourself grounded and keep yourself close to the earth. So you'll be learning more and more rather than showing your ego. So whatever you are, whatever you will become, make sure that you remain grounded. So that's something which I would say to the younger self, and also to the younger generation who are starting their careers, that nothing is impossible, nothing is unachievable. Dream big, and life is yours, whatever you want to achieve.
A valuable source of inspiration to many, I guess.
Right.
Thank you so much, sir. And with that, we have come to an end. And thank you for your presence and for taking time out of your busy schedule. A treat to every pharma student, professional, and anyone who is required to have a change and more than that, motivation in their career. So, thank you so much for being here. And everyone who is watching, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Reach out if you have any suggestion for future episodes by connecting with us on LinkedIn and other social media channels at Humans of Pharma or by email us at humansofpharma@pharmastate.com. Bye and thank you.
Thank you very much, Shazia, and thank you very much, Pharma State Academy, for giving this platform to share my experiences.